those who are all watching this video. I hope everyone is very happy and I hope everyone is very safe at home. Especially my lovable children, those who are watching this video. And coming to today's class, I can't say it is an interesting topic, but I can say one thing, that is, this is the most important topic related to communicative English. I mean, the topic is most common mistakes. See, generally if you speak any language, we commit mistake. Even if it is our mother tongue, if you say Tamil, English, whatever the language is, I'm not sure that English is our mother tongue, maybe for some people, but we can't say that we speak our language in a very correctful manner. It's very, very tough. So there may be mistakes in and there. So how to avoid those mistakes and how to rectify it, and what are the common mistakes that we commit when we speak a language. It is not just for speaking a language, it is also useful to learn English. Because when we learn a language, it may be any language, when we learn a language, we need to learn in a right manner. That is most important. So that I took this topic for today's class. If you could see, in all my video classes, I am giving you different topics, but which is most important is, which is related to be an effective communicative speaker. That's what my topics are all based on. I'm not sure how many of you try to use this video in your day-to-day life. Because last week I met one of my parents in the roadside. His parents is telling me that I'm the one who is watching the video, sir, not my students, sir, not my son, not my daughter. So if you follow that, it's the difficult part will be yours, not for us. So I request all of you to watch the video and don't skip the video. That is very, very important. And coming to today's class, as I already mentioned, today's topic is most common mistakes. As always, including myself, including everyone, when we speak a language or when we write something, we generally commit mistakes. What are the common errors? What are the common mistakes? We have discussed this topic in and there, not completely. If you see 2 weeks once or month once, I am discussing this topic. Reason because if I go with this topic, people used to say that it is a grammar topic. So that I am adding this topic in and there. So that you will not feel that it is like a grammar. You will feel that it is very important. And coming to the second topic is, this is the topic which I have planned, because now if you see, most of the classes are based on telephone or based on mobile phone. So what is important telephone words or important mobile phone words? So if we can say this generally in an English term, we can say it is a phrasal verb. So as you are all small children, you can't understand the term phrasal verb, but at least understand that these are the words which can be used for telephonic conversation. So when you talk to someone through a telephone or through a mobile phone, we may use this kind of words to make sure that your conversation is a proper one. So now let's get into the class today. As I always start my class with to my right side, the first sentence is people is. See, when we talk a person, it's a singular. When we talk a person, when I want to say a right word for person, it is plural format. So here the word is a plural format. People. I say a group. When I say a group, surely I should not use a singular term. People is. So the statement is wrong there. So the right statement is people are. Okay, so instead of using the word singular is, we should use the plural format are. And the second one is I am agree. If someone gives you an opinion or someone gives you a suggestion, you feel that yes, you agree with that term. So you need to give an answer for that, or you need to give a correct reply for that. Generally we used to say that I am agree. So that is grammatically wrong. So instead of saying I am agree, we can say I agree. I agree what you said. I agree what you said. Really. So this type of words will give you a different conversation. At the same time, it makes your language a proper one. And the third one is I know him good. So your parents or someone is conversing to you, you don't have any idea about that person, and you are telling to your parents that I know him good. That means you know that person very well. Instead of saying good for that, you can say I know him well. What is that? I know him well. That means about that person, his character, his excellence, his activities, I know him well. That's what the meaning of this sentence is. And the fourth one is, I have 26 years. I generally don't think that people related to this sentence will be wrong. I'm not sure about that, because many of them use this sentence in a correct manner. I have 26 years old. It means you talk about your age, you talk about how old are you. Instead of saying that, I'm not sure that how many of you say this, so maybe I felt that this sentence also should be added. So only I have added this sentence. Instead of using I have 26 years, you can say I am 26 years old. Okay. And the next one is, you are happy? See, if someone wants to frame a question, what they do is, even they start with a sentence, but they finish it in the questioning, questioning way. So, if they finish in a question way, it doesn't mean that it is a question. There is a format to ask a question. So, you are happy? It doesn't mean that it is a question. You are happy is a sentence. You need to inquire someone that is happy. You should not ask the sentence, you are happy. Okay, you should ask him, or you should inquire him in the way, are you happy? So that is the right way to inquire someone that whether he is happy or not. Don't say you are happy. You are happy can be used as a sentence, not as a question. Here I want to inquire someone that whether he is happy or not. At that time I have to use a question format, that is, are you happy? And the next sentence is related to the same sentence, but it is in a statement, not in the question format. Everyone are happy. Here many people have a wrong opinion about everyone. When I use the word everyone, my next term should be a singular one, not are. It should be is. So I should say everyone is happy. Each and everyone is happy. So that is the meaning of it. So here you should be very careful that the are should be neglected. Instead of using are, I should use the term, or I should use the auxiliary verb